Good morning, dear students. Welcome to economics class for grade +1. Let me start with next of your chapter, that is consumer equilibrium by indifference curve analysis. In this chapter, we are going to discuss Higgsian approach, that is completely opposite to the Marshallian approach, that was utility analysis. In this chapter, we are going to discuss the approach given by Higgs on the basis of ordinal utility, which proves subjective phenomena, and here we use to provide ranks to the satisfaction level to the consumer. So this approach of consumer equilibrium deals with the indifferent behavior of the consumer regarding various goods and services. So let us start with the assumptions concerned to this concept. The very first is money income of the consumer is given and constant. It means that whatever amount consumer has for expenditure purpose, that is given, and that amount does not increase or decrease in between. The amount remains unchanged. Second one is income spent on substitute goods, means the consumer has his income to spend on two goods, and those two goods are substitute, means one can be replaced for the another, and we have taken those goods as apple and orange. Third one is consumer's preference is well defined, means whatever consumer needs, that is clearly explained, means the consumer has intensity of high level when he is having less quantity, and when he has more quantity his intensity is low, means whatever the consumer has, he is not satisfied with that, he wants to attain high. When he has already high level of quantity, then he wants to substitute that good with the another one, and that particular intensity becomes the lower one. Fourth is consumer has monotonic preference. It explains that more quantity of goods and services provide more satisfaction to the consumer. As we know, consumer is a greedy agent that wants to maximize his satisfaction by spending less amount of money. So this can be shown with the help of monotonic preference, that more quantity of goods provide more satisfaction to the consumer. Next is rational consumer wants maximum satisfaction. This is the same assumption we have taken earlier also, that consumer in this model is also rational and he wants to get maximize his satisfaction level by his expenditure. Let's proceed further with indifference set. We have indifference set as in form of table, in which we have different columns. The very first is regarding combination, and second column is of the quantity of apples, third one is the quantity of oranges, and the fourth column we have the MRS, marginal rate of substitution, and whose formula is also given there, that is delta y upon delta x, change in the value of y variable upon change in the value of x variable. So let us discuss these values. A combination shows that quantity of apple is 1 and oranges is 10. According to first combination, consumer is getting 1 unit of apple and 10 units of oranges. Combination B shows quantity of apples has been increased to 2 units and the quantity of oranges has decreased to 7 units. C combination shows 3 units of apple and again 5 units of decreased value of oranges, that is 5 units. D combination shows 4 units of apple and again 4 units of oranges. So the table shows that one variable, that is apple, is keep on increasing and the oranges are keep on decreasing in number by the consumer. The rate of change in apple is one after the another is 1 unit only, and the oranges number is decreasing one after the another, but the rate of decrease is different. Here the first decreasing rate is 3 units, after that 2 units, and the next one is 1 unit only. According to these values, we have calculated MRS. That is, in the first combination, it cannot be evaluated as it is concerned with the value of change in value of x and y variable. So change can be measured at second level only. That is why the first value is blank here. In the second combination, this ratio become 3:1 because as consumer has sacrificed 3 unit of oranges to get 1 more unit of apple. At third level, the MRS ratio is 2:1 because as this level, consumer has sacrificed only 2 units of oranges to get 1 more unit of apple. At fourth combination, this ratio become 1:1, and this is just because consumer has substituted 1 orange for 1 apple, and the ratio become 1:1. Let me compare these values. The column MRS shows decreasing value, that is 3:1, 2:1 and 1:1. Due to this decreasing value of MRS, the curve will provide a different shape that we'll do in this video right now. So according to the given table, we can conclude that indifference set is a set of all those combination of two goods that provides same level of satisfaction to the consumer. So indifference set is concerned with table presentation of all those values of two goods which are giving same level of satisfaction to the consumer. Students, let's proceed further with indifference curve presentation. When we plot all the values of indifference set on graph, it becomes indifference curve. Let me discuss its definition first. Indifference curve is graphical presentation of indifference set that provides same level of satisfaction from two goods in different combinations. So all those goods which we have shown in indifference set, the graphical presentation is termed as indifference curve, which is also concerned with providing same level of satisfaction to the consumer. So now let me discuss the plotting of indifference curve. In the set we have two goods, apple and oranges. The variable whose value is increasing, that is apple, will be plotted on x-axis, and the second variable whose value is decreasing will be plotted on y-axis. So after plotting these points, we have received a downward sloping indifference curve. In this curve, all the four combinations are shown from A, B, C up to D, and by joining these points we got a downward sloping indifference curve, and this shape of IC is termed as convex shape towards the origin. Let's focus on these downward sloping arrows whose size is decreasing one after the another. This decreasing size of arrow shows decreasing rate of sacrifice by the consumer for an additional quantity of the good. Due to this decreasing rate of sacrifice by the consumer is responsible for the convex shape and downward slope of the indifference curve. So here we can conclude that indifference curve is given by Hicks. Indifference set is shown clearly, and further indifference curve is shown as per the different values given by the indifference set. So read this topic properly and revise the same. Till then, goodbye.